Today's topic is HBOT. What is HBOT? It is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It is defined as a medical intervention in which individual breathes near 100% oxygen intermittently in a hyperbaric chamber that is pressurized above 6 atmosphere or above 3 atmosphere of the sea pressure level. It is provided in HBOT chamber. Then each session duration depends on an indication. It may last from 30 minutes to 2 hours or may up to 5 hours in some cases, and it should be always followed by slow decompression. FDA has approved HBOT for 13 indications, which are decompression illness, air gas embolism, carbon monoxide poisoning, anemia due to severe blood loss, arterial insufficiency, or low blood flow in arteries like CRAO, acute traumatic ischemia, which can be due to the crush injuries, skin grafts, burns due to the fire and heat, radiation injuries, delayed radiation injuries, post-RT cancer patients, necrotizing soft tissue infections, gas gangrenes, osteomyelitis, and osteoradionecrosis, which is also radiation injury, and in some instances, sinus and brain infections also. Now we'll talk about the HBOT chamber. What are the HBOT chambers? These can be divided into three types: type A, B, and C. What are these types? Type A is multi-level, multi-place chamber, in which we can make many patients sit together with a oxygen mask. Employee is also present inside the chamber, but employee does not wear mask for oxygen. Type B, it is a monoplace chamber which is used for an individual patient. He is made supine and put into the plastic pressurized 100% oxygen tube. Type C is a duoplace chamber which can provide HBOT to the two patients simultaneously, and other chambers are portable mild hyperbaric chamber and topox. Portable mild hyperbaric chamber only rises the pressure above 1.5 to 1.7 ATA. ATA stands for atmospheric absolute, and this mild hyperbaric chamber is approved by FDA for altitude illness only. Next is topox, which covers a portion of body. The concept behind topox is the high pressure oxygen diffuses directly into the tissue till depth of 30 to 50 micron. It is not FDA approved. Next is what are the other non-FDA approved uses of HBOT. So these are migraine, depression, Alzheimer, and Parkinson. So these are some neurological issues like migraine, depression, Alzheimer, Parkinson, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy, stroke, brain injury, and spinal cord injury, in which prognosis is poor and recovery is very slow. In this, HBOT can be beneficial but not HPA approved. FDA approved नहीं है. Then asthma, AIDS, hepatitis, and Bell's palsy. In these cases also, HBOT has been used. Another very important indication is idiopathic sudden sensorineural hearing loss. In this also, we can use HBOT. What are the mechanism of HBOT? So first we have to know about some basic principles, then we will know about the physiological mechanism. What are the some basic principles? First is the Boyle's law. What are the Boyle's law states? It states P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. It means if we raise the pressure, then volume should decrease to maintain the equilibrium, and volume is represented by the bubble size of dissolved gas inside the blood. So it is stated that at 1.8 atmosphere, the size of bubble should decrease 30%. Second is a Chaw's law, which is not very important in HBOT, but has a role in patient with fever. That P1 V1 by T1 equal to P2 V2 by T2. So temperature has a role with dissolved oxygen. Third law, which is important, is Henry's law. It states P is directly proportional, or pressure of a gas is directly proportional to dissolved gas inside a liquid. Like if we raise the pressure of a gas inside a chamber, then dissolved gas amount will also change. Like if we increase the oxygen pressure, like 100% oxygen partial pressure is increased and atmospheric pressure is also increased, that will automatically result in a increased oxygen uptake by blood. But in decompression sickness, if N2 is more in blood and outside there is no nitrogen, so it will come out from the blood. So what we have seen, that for the oxygen at 3 atmosphere, the dissolved oxygen volume is 1.5 ml per deciliter. At 6 atmosphere it is 6 milliliter per deciliter. And that is a fact that at resting tissue the requirement of oxygen is only 5 to 6 milliliter per deciliter. So even in severe anemia with very less hemoglobin, HBOT is sufficient to deliver oxygen to the tissue, because normal requirement is 5 to 6, and at 6 atmosphere it can provide enough oxygen. So what is the physiological mechanism for HBOT use? First is the hyperoxygenation based on the Henry's law. So there will be decompression. It can be used in decompression sickness or gas embolism, carbon monoxide poisoning, CRAO, Cush syndrome, and severe blood loss, and sometimes in the graft uptake. Burst size decreases according to the Boyle's law, and that has advantage in decompression sickness illness or air gas embolism. What are the other effects? Other effects of HBOT which has been seen are vasoconstriction, angiogenesis. Vasoconstriction helps in thermal burns and crush injury to decrease the dissipation of heat, and angiogenesis is beneficial in graft uptake and the delayed radiation injury. Other effects are fibroblast proliferation, leukocyte oxidation killing, reduction of leukocyte adherence, and reduced lipid peroxidation. And toxin inhibition and antibiotic synergy helps in the necrosis of tissue of gas gangrene. What are the contraindications? Contraindications are pneumothorax and some drugs. Untreated pneumothorax is a contraindication because it has a risk of gas embolism and increase of pneumomediation and complications. Bleomycin can increase the interstitial pneumonitis. Cisplatin can increase the impaired wound healing, and doxorubicin can cause cardiotoxicity, and disulfiram, it inhibits the superoxide dismutase, so can increase the oxygen toxicity. What are the relative contraindication? Asthma, COPD, Eustachian tube defect, and patient using pacemaker, and females who are pregnant, patient with the URI and the high fever, and patient presenting with seizure. HBOT is contraindicated relatively, still we can use. What are the complications of HBOT? Complications are very important. There are mainly three complications. Like first, because of high pressure it can produce a barotrauma. Because of oxygen it can produce a visual defect and direct oxygen toxicity. Barotrauma can be produced in a middle ear or inner ear. In middle ear and inner ear in the round window, oval window, which can directly result in permanent SNHL. In middle ear it can produce a bleed or retraction of tympanic membrane, which can produce a conductive hearing loss. And in sinus it can produce a pain. So we can use for middle ear, what is a treatment we can use? We can use the pneumatic devices, intermittent pneumatic pressure change to open the Eustachian tube. Second is directly Grome. For the sinus we can use as a treatment nasal drops, xylometazoline, and steroid nasal spray. For dental, it can produce a dental ache or dental pain because of high oxygen level. So we can do capping of eroded tooth. And in lung, it can result into dry cough, chest pain. And we could, for the lung, we can do, and for the visual toxicity, it can produce a cataract or progressive myopathy. And direct oxygen toxicity can result in seizure and the chest pain. So these are the HVOT complications.